record. So happy Friday, everybody. My name's Andrea. I am so excited to run through EchoHub with each of you. And so I want to just kind of give you an overview for our goal for this morning because there's a lot we could do. Like we could literally be on here for 6 hours. Like you and we could all be best friends. We could sit on here all day long and go into all the nitty gritty. But I think that some of you might want to get outside. I would. Some of you might want to get away from your screen and not spend the whole day on the computer. So just a little bit of our overflow or our overview of what we're going to do. So what I would love for everybody on here to know when we're done with today is, or at least know how to get it, is what their big idea is, what groups you want to be joining, and kind of what your daily activity is going to be. So if you feel confident in those areas, then we can get all the nitty gritty done on the back end. Okay. So how are we going to do that? The first thing that I want to recommend to everybody is that you watch all of the videos under creating content to build authority. And I will say that you can work and create oh, I've got so many texts of people asking me for the link, but 2 texts above is the link for today. So I apologize, guys. I'm trying to remind people as we're doing this. So if I talk a little slow, just know that that's because I am responding to those that are asking for the link. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're going to go back to this. Here we go. So first thing I'm going to recommend, and I'm going to start over, is to watch those videos under creating content to build authority. And I will admit that I worked in this app for a solid week and a half before I watched a single video because I kind of forgot they existed. And so I just watched the little tiny videos that are part of the actual daily workflow. And I would watch part of it, I would skip, and then I would go do it because I thought that I knew maybe better. I know this, I know this, I know this. So my recommendation to everybody is to learn from me. And even with that, even with doing it imperfectly, I did see improvements. But I think if the closer we can get to doing it better, the more results that you're going to get. So watch those videos under creating content to build authority, go through them, take the time. This is going to be the most time intensive of the entire period of the app. And it's not the videos that take time, it's the work behind the videos because there are going to be assignments in there. So it's going to ask you, what is your bigger idea? What are the 4 pillars that you want to build your content around? It's going to ask you to download your friends list. Like it's going to ask you to do some work outside of the time that you're going to spend with your fingers on the keyboard. And I was impatient. I didn't want to do the work first. And so I ended up doing it after. But what I've seen is it makes a huge difference. So first of all, our goal is going to be to figure out who we want to be on social media, right? How do we want to present ourselves? How do we want to, share who we are? And you might already have a really great idea of what you want your social media to look like. You might say, like my big idea, kind of what I want to be on social media, is kind of that crunchy best friend. Okay, so I think the word that the gal used with me was granola. So I want to focus on, being healthy, being a resource to help people be healthy. I want to be outside as much as possible, preferably with a dog on my lap or walking next to me. I love to travel. I love books, and I want to just grow as a person, right? So those are kind of my pillars and my big idea, kind of all in one. And when I go put that on paper, which is one of the assignments, it gives us all these different spaces that we can be in. And so once you figure out who, Tammy Maltby wants to be on social media, and I've got a pretty good idea because she's really great on social media already. So we know that she's an encourager on there. You know that she is working on empowering other people and that she's always looking to grow. Travel's a big part of her life as well. And so if you look on her page, and that was all just from what I've seen in the past, right? I didn't go stalk her right now. I probably should have. But if I go look, I know kind of the things that interest her. Okay, so when you look at your page, what interests you? Like when you look at your social media, Katie, do you get a good idea of who you are? Because we want to be able to share ourselves in an authentic way that we can build authority around that. Okay, where people go, oh, I know if I need a really great recipe that is going to, feed my family for $10 or less, I know that I'm going to go to Janelle's like Facebook page. I know she always has great ideas for recipes in that because Janelle's such a cook. That was funny that I picked you, Janelle, because she does not cook. That was pretty funny. But anyway, you popped up on my screen. But I know that that's a resource that I can go to. Okay, so that's kind of the first thing. We kind of have to figure that out. The second thing that we need to do is we need to go join a bunch of groups that align with kind of who we are and who we want to be. So for me, I've got to go back to me. So don't think I'm just talking about myself, but just to give you those ideas. So I'm in a bunch of backpacking groups and hiking groups, travel groups, book nerd groups, homeschooling mom groups, holistic, crunchy, healthy, those kind of groups, right? I joined a bunch, and we're going to join more than we stay in, right? But I'm going to tell you why this is important in a minute. But we want you to join a bunch of groups that you think that you can add value to. Now, do you want to gain value there as well? Yes, but the main point is that we want to be able to add value into those groups because what does that do? That gives us new people to talk to every single day. Because one of our assignments you guys have seen is that you're going to share your content into a group. So this morning, I've got a post coming up in just a little bit where I said like the best book I read in the homeschooling realm in my entire homeschooling realm career. And here are 5 key takeaways, right? So I am doing a little book report on a book that I read, and I'm going to post that on my wall, but then I'm also going to share it into all these homeschooling mom groups. Because then what's going to happen? Those homeschooling moms will then say, this gal is a resource. I can learn from her. I'm going to go follow her on her regular social media. And that allows me to grow my engagement. So, Valerie, maybe you say, these are the 5 ways that I've learned to improve your swing with golf. I'm a longtime golfer. I love it more than, well, not more than Joe, but more than anything else. And these are the 5 tips I don't know anything about golf. So to better your score, reduce your score, I don't know, whatever it may be. But these are the 5 tips. You go put that on your wall and then you go share that into these golfing groups. And that's going to attract people to you because what that does is it allows us to constantly be growing our social media. It allows us to naturally, organically gain friends, gain followers as we gain or grow value. And then the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to go love on people. So the way that it was explained to me was that we are going and putting deposits in our emotional bank account to at least 20 people a day. Okay. So what I would recommend is set a timer. I actually do this in 2 15-minute blocks because my goal is 40 personally that I work on. So you can find this in a couple of different ways, but there's one space that you do not want to find these people, and that's on your scroll. Okay. So when you go onto Facebook and you scroll, those are the people that already see your content. So they're your 1%. What many of us do not realize is only about 1% of our friends and our followers see our content. So they've maybe seen your drops already, right? They've already bought from you. They are already part of PartnerCo. So we need to get out of that space. So how do we get out of it? We get out of the scroll. And I'm going to suggest that maybe you do your scrolling over in Instagram and you do your working over in Facebook so that you kind of get that separation and you're not constantly, go love on your team on Instagram, go love over there, but then go work on Facebook. Okay, so just a little idea there. But what we want to do is we either want to download our friends list and put it in an Excel file, Chat GPT, Google it, they can help you do that. Or on your phone, depending on how your Facebook is set up. Mine's set up, this doesn't work on mine, but I know, like I looked on Brent's, it does work on his. So your phone might allow you to do this, where on your page, you can go look at your friends list and you can sort by whatever order you want. So maybe you sort alphabetically. Maybe you sort by date and you go with the old, the people that you've known the longest. But you're going to go pick 20 to 40 unique people that are not necessarily in your feed that you see, and you're going to go love on them. So any posts that they've made in the last 6 weeks, you're going to go comment a non-creepy comment, right? People can get a little weird here where they're like, uh, I don't even know. Why did you eat that for breakfast? Or I have no idea. Like we might just say some weird things because we're like, I don't know what to say right here. Just go normal, pretend like they're your best friend. And what would you say to them if they posted a picture of their breakfast, even if it's 6 weeks ago? Wow, that looks delicious. Do you have any other suggestions for great breakfast ideas? Because the best thing that we can do is to start a conversation. How do we do that? We ask a question, right? Oh my gosh, your son is absolutely adorable. Cannot believe I missed his birthday. How did you guys celebrate? Or, what was his favorite part of the day? Whatever it may be. But we just want to do a natural comment that was done within the last 6 weeks of a post that they made. Now, what if they haven't posted in the last 6 weeks? What if it's like your granny and you don't want to unfriend them? Then please don't unfriend your granny. Okay, don't unfriend her. But if this is just a contact from some space in your life, you're like, I actually don't really know this person. They haven't been on Facebook in 6, 8, whatever weeks. If they don't have content on there, I'm going to make the suggestion to unfriend them. And I know that this can be like people can get, oh my gosh, but I had 3,000 friends and now I only have 2,999. I don't want that. We get so caught up in the number, but actually, we want people that are interacting, people that are on social media. So if they haven't posted in a really long time, they're never going to see your content. So you're wasting your 1%. And I'll tell you, this has been my favorite part. I've been an unfriending fool and I've really enjoyed it. It's been really empowering. It's been a lovely thing because these are people that I don't even know how I know them. I'm like, I would not recognize them if they walked next to me on the street. Why am I connected them with social media? Because once upon a time, somebody said I had to grow my social media. So I added the whole world. Well, guess what? We don't actually need that. It's better to have 300 engaged people than 3,000 people that have no connection to you. Okay. So if they are not on there, let's unfriend them. Okay. And that might feel a little weird. Don't unfriend your best friend's mom that stalks you, whatever, but just the random people. Let's go ahead and clean up our friends list and get rid of those. Okay, so we already talked about downloading your friends list, and I'm kind of going through my notes just so you guys know. Um, the next thing is to figure out your big idea. And this is kind of the space where we want to be able to connect with people authentically that represents you. And sometimes we all think, well, I'm partner co, so my big idea has got to be health, or it's got to be weight loss, or it's got to be supplementation. But actually, if you're not, a health coach naturally, if you are not like incredibly passionate about weight loss, like every day, that's all you want to talk about, like that's your favorite activity. If supplementation is what drives you, like you get out of bed every morning to talk about supplementation, okay, then it's your big idea. But for most of us, that's just a part of who we are, right? Like Dr. Crystal might be, and I don't even think she is, if we're going to be real frank, like she's got bigger ideas than just health, right? But if that's your background and that's what, spurs you, then yeah, rock it, and that could be your big idea. But for most of us, it's going to be something that is a little bit different than that. Empowering humans to make, fantastic choices, or I don't know, because this is a hard one, but it's hard to look. I'm looking at your faces. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what your big idea is, but just kind of that space that is something that you're passionate about. And this is our foundation for building genuine authority. So, maybe my big idea is that every single person on the planet should have a dog. And all I should talk about, my big focus is dogs, 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 dogs. Now that could get a little redundant, right? For the people that think that's a little crazy, but you know what? The crazy dog people are going to be all over it. Okay. Now, our big idea should be supported by like 4 pillars. Okay. And we can, again, these videos are going to go into a lot more detail on how you can get to your big idea and how you can figure out your your 4 pillars. But like I said, for mine, like one of my pillars is travel. I want to see every inch of this earth before it's my time to pip out, right? Um, I want to read pretty much every single book as long as it's not too scary before I, move out of this plane. I want to be outside as much as possible, and I want to live in a space that I feel as great as possible and I help other people feel great as well, right? So those are kind of pillars, and then I joined groups that support me in those pillars, right? So just kind of figuring that out. And then we're going to center our brand. So who is our brand? Is our brand Partner Co? I thought so. I really did. I'm like, well, the brand that I work with is Partner Co. No, my brand is Andrea Rosser. Your brand is Keela, right? So we've got to figure out who your brand is. We're going to go brand you, and then we're going to attract people with that. And we're going to establish our authority there. As people know and like and trust us there, well, then guess what happens naturally? They join us in our business, right? It's a natural progression because they want to be around us. They like who we are. We're the type of person that they want to spend time with. Um, Now, we already talked about kind of some algorithm, so engaging with those different people, asking genuine, question-based comments, and that's going to allow 40 different people, 20 to 40 different people to see your content every single day. Because how many times have you said, perhaps to yourself, oh, all the same people are commenting on it, right? All the same people. Well, this is how we get different people. And we're going to friend people to kind of cull our followers to make them the most engaged people, because we're not worrying about count, we're worrying about engagement. And one thing that is a little bit different than what we've probably ever heard before, and this can be hard when you have a team, but we want to make sure that we start avoiding excess interaction with our team. And it's a beautiful space. Go love on them on Instagram, love on them via text, support them in other spaces. But some of these vanity metrics, right, where I go and I see that Kathy made a drop post and I'm going to go love her, right? So kind of think about our boost groups. Well, I go comment on Kathy's post and I say, congratulations, she looks great. Now, if I do that every once in a while, especially with a new person, that's fantastic. But if I'm focusing on that every single day, Facebook's so smart, so smart. And it says that I only want to see people like Kathy, and Kathy only wants to see people like me. And what do we have in common? Well, we both posts about before and afters, and we're both part of Circle of Health, and we're both part of Partner Co Nation, and we both might have some team, messages going on, and it's going to connect us in this little bubble, and we're going to have a really hard time getting out of the Partner Co world. Okay. I love Partner Co. I love each and every one of you. I want to see all of your cat pictures and everything, and I want to support you. But if Facebook says that Shelly should only see posts of people like Andrea and Andrea's Partner Co., well, then only Partner Co. is going to see Shelly's posts and my posts, and we'll actually limit each other. So just keep that in mind. Love on your new people, support their first posts. And Tammy will grab questions maybe in a minute if that's okay. Um, Love on those new people, but then try not to make that part of your daily habit. So right now, I would not be focusing on the boosting groups. I would love on your newest people. And then I would work on helping them get out of that tight circle. And that's kind of it. Okay. Okay, so I'm scrolling through here. So our call to action today is to define your bigger idea, create your mind map. It that felt like a lot of work to me. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to sit down and do it, but it will make your life easier as you're creating posts moving forward when you have that mind map created. And then just know that our goal is to be pouring into people's love banks, their emotional banks, where we're adding value through our content and through our comments every single day. Okay, I'm just scrolling through my notes here to make sure that I am catching everything. There's a lot here, guys. Okay, I think I covered most of what I wanted to show you or talk to you guys about the engagement. And then, oh, Tammy, that was your question. Okay, So I'm going to add this here. So yes, the boosting group, I would recommend kind of going against that right now. And then what I would love to do is I'd love to open this up for any questions you have right now. And then we can move into kind of more of the app and functionality if you have it. So yes, we're absolutely still doing the system of growth. And so we do want to be posting our before and after posts. We still want to do that twice a day. And we still want to make sure that we're putting that content. We're actually going to see more engagement on it because different people are going to be doing it. And what I would recommend is figure out what category they can count for in the day. So I'm really only having mine count in one, even though I make two posts. But maybe one day it's a call to action, maybe one day it's educational. But I'm kind of putting it in different spaces. Maybe one day it's in my stories, and then the other one is kind of a bonus post. But we're still doing the system of growth. So Nicole, yes, what question did you have?
Okay, so I'm an organizer and I look at my daily work flow when I get in the app and I get a little overwhelmed because it looks like 10 tasks. So what I think I just heard you say is if I create a reel that's educational, I count it for both of those.
No. So,
Okay.
and I love that. Yes and no. So we want to have it in two spaces. So for a reel, we want to create a reel, but you also, and that could be like I do want it to be an educational reel, but then I want you to share it to your wall, right? So that it's on your wall and it's out in real land, because
Okay.
sometimes it's not. So it might be one
Correct.
piece of content, but I want it in both spaces.
That's the better way. So for a clarifying question, you can use content to satisfy multiple coin grabs, is what we'll call it, coin earning coin. But then my next question would, the follow-up would be, so you have your system of growth and you have your daily work tasks. How far apart should you space this content so that you're not overloading your wall? Like, is it one per hour? You have your 9 and 3 embedded for the system of growth, and then you have all these other lifestyle, motivation, education, real, and the CTA.
So I don't think don't do them all at once. Okay. So that's going to be the first thing, right? Like, I kind of got excited kind of the first couple days. I'm like, okay, first post checked off, second post checked off, third post checked off. And so then you saw a bunch of stuff in the first 45 minutes of my day and nothing the remainder of the day. Don't do that. Um, but I wouldn't worry too much about how far apart they are. So just
Okay.
I schedule all of mine,
Yes.
except for really my lifestyle one because I never know what my life is that day. So I try to do something kind of authentic in that moment. But everything else I schedule out and I do them about every, 2 hours, hour and a half. And then the reels are going to be in a different space. The stories are in a different space. So I don't really worry about the timing for that.
Okay, great. And then that was my last. So just to confirm, I'm a scheduler too. And so it seems that when I worked through the app and the workflow yesterday, it was able to allow me to schedule for tomorrow. And that, I mean, I guess that counts is what I'm asking.
Yeah. So Nicole, you and I could hang out all day long. My favorite word is clarifying. I love to ask clarifying questions, and I'm super analytical. So I make sure, like, I'm scheduling today for today. It counts on today's coins. Tomorrow, when it pops up, maybe I scheduled today for tomorrow. Well, then I get the coin tomorrow. And
Right.
so that's kind of how I work it out in my brain. When the activity happens, that's when I go and mark it off in the app. But yes, 100%. Doesn't matter
Okay.
which order you do it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And then Kimberly is clarifying in there, so not the boosting groups. And I'm going to say, yeah, correct. Don't use the boosting groups. And I know this goes against a lot of what we've done for the last 2 years. But as you've probably noticed, the more you use the boosting groups, you might see less people outside of Partner Co because it's just connecting this tighter and tighter and tighter group. Now, if somebody's brand new, they're not going to see that right away, but so, like I say, we've got about a 2 to maybe 3 week window as they're getting to ultimate that they can focus in the boosting groups. But once we're ultimate, we don't want to be going back in there anymore. Okay, so get our new people there. but not the older people. Val, yeah. Oh, let me hold on. Can you guys unmute yourself? You might not be able to. Um, Try it now.
Okay,
Yeah.
that'll work.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, what about if with boosting, because it will still help push our posts out. If on your team, if you had like a group of 5 or 6 of you who, you know around the time when they're going to be posting, you go and you love on their post, and it's just a handful of you on the same team, so you're still helping each other.
Well, what I would question is if you're actually still helping each other. Because what you're doing is you're creating a sharper tie between those 5 or 6 people that have a lot of things in common. So the algorithm has just changed. So it used to be if we had 10 comments in 10 minutes, it didn't matter who those 10 comments were. Facebook said, this is a great post. We're going to send it out to a bunch of people. Well, now it's gotten a little smarter. Well, maybe it's smarter. I don't know, whatever. But it's saying, okay, these 10 comments, these people had 10 things in common. So we're only going to show them things that everybody else has those 10 things in common. And so it's creating stronger ties. So instead of you pushing it out to more people, those 5 comments are actually keeping it closer to home.
Okay.
So it can hurt our egos a little bit because I'm like, oh, I didn't get my normal 5 comments that I'm so used to, and it's just sitting there all lonely by itself. Like that hurts our ego, but it actually is gonna go farther now on social media. Bless you. All right, Tammy, did you have a question?
No, I really just a thought, Andrea, thank you. This is so wonderful, the knowledge growth of this. And that's what I love about this app. It really gives you a daily activity of tasks to do that will push your Facebook. One of the other things that I would say, and I would stress, at least to my organization, is that when someone is new and they're making their first post, you absolutely want to push that out into the boosting groups. And so that's my clarifying statement because I just want to make sure, remember what Andrea said, they haven't seen any of those people in partner code. Nobody, it's a whole new thing for them. And we want to help them get to golden ultimate and get those 30 sets of drops sold. So
Yes.
we definitely want that to happen in for the brand new person.
Yes, I would absolutely agree. And I'm going to add a clarification here as well. This app is really designed for somebody once they've hit ultimate. And so all of our same system of growth behaviors, the boosting groups, that all of that is going to be exactly the same in those first 4 Fridays as they get to ultimate. And then once they reach ultimate, and that's when we want to expand their social media outside of that smaller network where they already are. And we're going to move them over to the app naturally as people move in that direction. So that would be 100%, 1,000% even agree with Tammy there that we still want our new people to be boosted for a variety of reasons. First of all, that ego thing is so hard. I remember how sweaty I was. I can tell you the day that I made my first drop post. It was July 5th, 2023. I thought I was going to fall out of my chair. I actually had to walk away after I posted it. Think about Alan. I think he posted it, deleted it, then posted it again. Like none of us, and he was the day before me, none of us wanted to do it. It feels icky. So if we can love on our people and help them with those first few posts so that it doesn't feel as bad, then we can help them continue. But yes, we want after they hit ultimate, we're going to move out of the boosting groups and we're going to move into another space. So correct, Julie. I would not introduce it. I'd keep it simple, let them do the onboarding, walk through it, do their 2 posts a day, hopefully a little lifestyle in between, get them to their 30 boxes, and then we can introduce this second level once they're no longer overwhelmed with getting to ultimate. And I'm looking to see if there's any questions over here. Yeah, Kimberly, absolutely. If you get content out of there to use and to share, stay in there. right? Stay in the groups, grab the content that you want to share. And we might even create a new space for that content that's not necessarily for, boosting, where we get in the habit of grabbing those and save them in a folder or save them in a different space so that we have access to that content, moving forward. I know there's some transformation groups, that kind of thing. But yeah, stay there. Don't leave it. Boost your new people, but then I wouldn't have that be a main IPA for your daily activities.
I have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
So I wasn't in the app at all yesterday. We had stuff that we did for my birthday. So,
Shocking. God, celebrate your birthday. Goodness gracious, Valerie.
but I was like, I strategically started the system of growth posts from day one, week one on Monday, so that the pink top person would fall yesterday on my birthday, hoping that people would see that aren't in my network, just because so many people were posting to my timeline, right? So how do I take advantage of that, like with my algorithm? I think probably boosted from that, right? From yesterday, or like when I start
That's above my
commenting back
pay
to all
grade,
those
Val.
people. Huh?
That's above my pay grade.
Oh,
I wish I had an answer for you. I'd say just tap into the app, use all the pieces of the app, because that's gonna, if there was a boost for your birthday, I have no idea. I would assume, but I have no idea. Did people go to your wall to wish you happy birthday, or were they notified by Facebook that it was your birthday and they posted there? They didn't see your, I don't know, but it might do a stir, right, in the world, especially as I would think you're responding to people saying thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much. That's keeping you in people's mind. So I would say capitalize on it. I wish we all had a birthday this week so we could go do it. I think that's fantastic. And then I would just focus on making sure you're getting all the ingredients in the brownies so that you're doing all of the activities from the app, and that's going to continue to boost that algorithm.
okay. My next question had to do with groups. So when you were saying join a bunch of groups so you're able to add value, and then you said share into the groups. Are you talking about like actually sharing your post from your wall
Yes.
into the group? So it has to be I don't know. Will people be able to see that if it's a private group and we're not friends with them?
The people in the group will. The
Okay.
people that are not in the group will not.
Okay.
So like, for example, I'm in a bunch of sober groups. Okay. So my motivational posts that I create that have to do with, better today than yesterday, or I'm releasing yesterday's, trauma. I don't even know. I'm trying to think of what I put. The I forget the word, but one of the things I can do to level up is to forgive somebody that never gave me an apology, like
Right.
those kind of posts. Well, then I've posted it on my wall, but I think, oh, I think this applies to my sober mamas group. And so at the underneath my post, it gives me the opportunity to click share, and then
Right.
go push it out into the share groups with a little comment that says, this helped me feel better today. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say something, right? And it will show in the group with my comment. But if you're not in that sober group, you're not going to see it.
Right. I guess I was just clarifying if you meant actually share the post or if you meant create the same post
Share it.
group. Okay.
Share it. Because then what happens is in that group, they see that Andrea Rosser, and whatever my name is on Facebook, Andrea Cantino Rosser is somebody that they might want to follow. So if they click on my post, it's going to take them over to my regular Facebook
Okay.
page, and they can click the follow button. They can click the friend button if they're so led. And
Okay.
that's, I think, not huge for me. But again, I've been doing this wrong. I think I've gained about 100 followers and they're people, they have to be from groups. I have no idea who any of these people are. And when
Right.
I look at them, it says like, what do we have in common? I have more books and friends group, or, sober mom group, or homeschooling mom group, or whatever it may be.
Because I've always just made the same post in the group that I would make on my wall. And so that's you're sharing your post, I guess, makes more sense.
Yeah, you want to share it, don't recreate it. And then
Okay.
we are waiting. And so let me clarify this real quick, because this was a question in the chat and I want to kind of explain to you guys what we're doing. Right now, you guys are our experts, or you're going to be. So on Wednesday, so the 29th, we are actually releasing this to the entire field. We're going to be doing a special call. Hopefully you're seeing all kinds of posts going up in Partner Co Nation, on my page, on Brent's page. One, grab those and share them. Let's go help share them in your team pages, share them on your wall. Like, go create that same excitement for your team, because this is only going to amplify your business. But then on Wednesday, hopefully some of you are going to raise your hands and be able to say, okay, here's the difference. Like, take a picture of all your analytics right now. Like, each of you were hand picked to be a part of this beta text. It was invitation only. Like, Brent picked every single person that is part of this. Okay. So you were chosen for a reason, and we want your stories. So take a picture of your insights. Hopefully you did it yesterday. Take them today if need be. And then on Wednesday, you're going to be able to show the proof, because you're going to invite your teams on Wednesday. We're going to be inviting the teams on Wednesday, on the 29th, and we're going to share the launch of the app with all of them. And so we want to get your proof and your buy-in and your social, credibility to say, okay, this is Jason here, and I'm the leader of your group, and look what I created. With using this for 1 week, I know you're going to create the same thing or more, right? So that's kind of the plan. We're not giving this to anybody else other than those that have been invited right now. And then on Wednesday, we unleash it to everybody. Okay, do we have any other questions? Oh, a year, yes. Well, and guess what, guys? If you purchase the annual subscription, you got a significant discount, because the pricing was wrong. So if the pricing will be different on Wednesday it'll still be a discount, but if you already did it, you saved yourself quite a bit because there was an error. So congratulations. I'm like, dang it, why didn't I do that? So glad you guys did. So good job if you got the annual, but there is a discount if they do the annual. I've Yeah, so whatever people prefer, but if you did that, you got an extra perk as well. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to cover this morning, so I think, and you guys can let me know if you've got any other questions, but the last thing that I wanted to talk about is that you will notice that there's other sections in the app. So I keep getting a lot of questions from people. They're like, what is this? What is that? What is this? You can poke around, check it all out, but we're really only focusing right now on creating content to build authority and then the daily workflow. Those are the two areas that we're going to be. But if you go to content, just know that that works like, yes, Karen, you're one of them. You weren't the only one, but one of them. The content section, that is going to work like boards. So one of the most common questions I get, they're like, well, I click on it and nothing happens. It just shows it to me, right? Like, it pops up and it shows it to me. Well, because that's not how it's designed to work. It's going to work like boards. So you will enable that keyboard. You will go, just like you're in Messenger right now, you would go to boards and you would, enter, message 1 or message 2 or whatever it may be. Well, you'll be able to do all the same things using this app. Now, why do we do that? Do we want to replace boards? Do we want to change people's flow? Absolutely not. We are winning. It is working. It is fantastic. Do not change what you're doing, but we wanted to give options for those that they've already achieved ultimate. Maybe they're using the free version of boards and they're frustrated that it's only letting them do 10 shares a day, or they've got some frustration level. Well, this can deal with that frustration without having to upgrade in that space. Okay, so we're just giving additional options. We are not changing the flow. And yes, anything that you accept for the keyboard, it's going to say that it can change your, it can save your passwords, it can save anything, because anything you're typing, it can now see. But I promise we're not collecting your password. There's nobody at the back end. Boards works the same way. The Share app works the same way. I'm trying to think of all the keyboards that I have on my phone. The emoji app actually works the same way. They all, by using your keyboard, it can see what you type. So I wouldn't worry about that. That warning comes up with every single app that allows you to type. So you don't have to fret about that. You can fret, but you don't have to fret about that. And then the other thing, if you guys were on Tammy's Facebook this week, you probably should go check it out. Okay. Tammy, I'm calling you out. If you go to trainings, the first section in there says coach in your pocket. Okay. So I should share my screen, but I'm not going to. But coach in your pocket is that first section. And in there is a beautiful little AI that can help us create some really fantastic posts. And one of the recommendations that we've had is that once a month, we should be launching our business again, because we're going to be gathering all these new people. They haven't seen us, they don't know who we are. And so we want to introduce ourselves again. Tammy did one that I feel about 99.98% confident that she used the launch post business focused. Okay, I'm like, I feel pretty confident. So if you guys want to, that could be one of your posts, your call to action posts for today, where you click on that and it's going to ask you a bunch of questions about you and your journey and what you're doing here. And then it's going to go craft something to sound like you, but with some key components. And we've seen phenomenal results from those posts. It could be the business one, it can be there's one for product as well. I don't have my glasses on. Yep, product one. There's some business reach out helpers, so different things. So let's just pretend, and this is a sneak peek. Well, Tammy, you unmuted, so do you want to tell us a little bit
Can I
about
just say one thing, Andrea, about that? So you'll see a lot of people using that introduction that I used, basically, can I share my heart personally with you or something? I can't remember the exact word, but that came from 100% from the app. 100% from the app. And then you answer specific questions and then it creates a post for you. Now I'm going to tell you one more step that I used. I took that post it created and I put it through AI. Okay. And I said to AI, this is the post I want to post. Make it sound exactly like me. Add my personality, add what I love. So AI then added some other things in there that were very specific to me because I use AI about 20 times a day. So knows my personality. And that is the post that I added. I found a picture and I even went into AI and I loaded up like 8 pictures. I said, which one do you think is most compelling with this post? And AI picked that picture. So I took that tool and that's exactly what I posted. It was the engagement on that was maybe the most engaged post I've ever had on Facebook. It was crazy. Now I'm going to pin it to the top of my page because like Andrea said, it's going to go up there. People are going to keep commenting and what's going to happen? It's going to start pushing that algorithm out more and more. So anyway, I just want to give that extra little tip that remember, we've got all these tools to use, but even put your picture through it and let them generate like what do they believe is the best, and it worked. It was amazing.
I love it. I love it. And it was powerful. And so Eva's asking which AI you use.
Oh, chat. I'm sorry, Chat GPT.
So Chat GPT. And guys, so this has AI built into it.
Yes, it does.
There is a little robot living in your phone with it now, and it's going to craft a beautiful post. When you read it, I love that idea of you grab it. And if you now, she said a couple things in there that if you're not currently using AI and if your Chat GPT is not trained to sound like you, well, then that step might not work. Okay. Because if it doesn't know what you sound like, It's going to have some struggles. So I would just keep that in mind. Go try it. If you don't like how it sounds, say no, I'm friendlier than that, or I'm more authentic, or I'm
Yes.
whatever, right? But you can continue to train. And that is something I do pay for Chat GPT. I pay
Mhm.
for a few of them. I pay for, I'm not going to tell you guys what I pay for, but I use some other AIs as well, because they definitely will learn you. You can train them and they will improve, and the app will as well. So the more you create posts with this, it's going to learn. It's going to become more like you. It's going to sound more like you. Our posts will, in the beginning, when we all use it, it's all going to kind of sound, there's going to be some similarities. It's going to give me that same um, section where it says, I'm going to be real and vulnerable with you guys for a moment. And I'd appreciate if you read this, right? But then if it learns that I sound like that sentence, it will learn and it will change and adjust with my preferences. But I love that. I've never thrown a picture into Chat GPT and said which one works best. I
Oh,
my
I just tried it. I just tried
I
it.
love it. You know what I do? I pick the picture that I think I look the worst in. For some reason, the worse I look in a picture, the better engagement I get. So I'm like, that picture I think is a little bit embarrassing. Fantastic. That is the one I'm going to choose. Most people, I think, probably go in a different direction, but for some reason that seems to work for me. I don't know. But you pick the direction that you want. I love that, Tammy. That was a great tip. But that is a really powerful section that you could go and launch your business again and then continue with the daily flow. The call to action post, I would say maybe 4 times a month, that call to action is actually business. The rest of the time, it's just around something else in your realm. So go watch those engagement videos on how to improve that. But what we don't want is all of a sudden we become these like really pushy, spammy people where every day we're like, comment below to buy my drops, comment below to buy my drop, right? Like that isn't going to help build that credibility and that authority and engagement. Um, and then the last section on there is probably my favorite, and that's to reach out to somebody and give them a little bit of love. And it's going to automatically open up Messenger. I've actually been doing I open it in Messenger, but then I go do it in my text message because I want it to be a little bit more personal. If the person, if I have their number, I'm going to do it over there. But I have been focusing on this, and it's a beautiful reminder to just go love on our team. Like, go find somebody today to love on. And she talks about that. She's like, this is not going to change your engagement, but it is going to allow you to connect more with your team. So that would just be, a little tip there that, yes, you can do it in Messenger. That's great. But if you do it, call somebody, love somebody, whatever, find somebody to love on today. But that's a really fun portion. And I love that they have that in there. And then the last thing I will say is just a reminder that these are brownies. And so if we forget the sugar, they're going to be gross no matter how good the rest of our ingredients are. And so do your best, right, to make sure that you're doing every single activity that it asks you to do every day. And I just have to blow out Summer because she literally called me and said, this doesn't work for me. My engagement's down. It's awful. This is the worst. And I actually had the developer on a Zoom call, and I'm like, help. She's the one person that's having the opposite effect. And the developer went through and said, she's not doing the app. Like, there's actually nothing that she's doing that aligns with it. And she had, I love you, Summer. She had actually created her own little, it was beautiful. It aligned with my personality. Nicole, you and I are going to struggle with this one because I'm like, ooh, I should do that. She literally had drawn boxes on a piece of paper, right? So, like, with a ruler, and she put each of her posts in a little box, and she had it all mapped out what she thought she was going to do. And what the developer said was, if we could have done this on a piece of paper, we would have. It would have been a lot cheaper, right? Brent would have spent all the money that he did to create it. She said, it's very intentional that you're going in here, you watch the video, and then you create the posts because your posts are going to improve because you're watching the video. And then she was missing like 6 of the things, even though she had the right number of boxes, she was missing some of the key things because she wasn't going into the app to do it. And so it was kind of funny because I'm like, ooh, I was all wooed by her piece of paper. And then I went, oh, never mind, I don't want to do it. So just make sure that you're doing all of the ingredients. That is just a key part of it. And I'm going to say, do it bad. Okay, do it bad. I gained like 34% in my whatever category doing it horribly. I'm assuming that I'm going to just continue to get better and that engagement is going to grow and grow. But even doing it bad, it's already still working. Okay, Tammy, I know you're going to call her, but I'm going to address this in the. I didn't say only post about your business 4 times a month. I said only 4 calls to action on your business. Okay. So you'll notice we have before and afters that we post every single day, twice a day, but they say very little about, comment below, reach out to me. Like we do not give a set call to action. It's just planting a seed. Okay. So I'm going to plant seeds all day, every day. But then you'll notice that and it aligns to about 4 times a month. It'll say, oh my goodness, I only have 3 boxes left. Let me know if you want one. Right? Comment below if you want one. Or, there'll be some specific calls to action, but there's not that many if you look through the full 6 weeks. The rest are just planting seeds. So we want to be planting seeds every day with our business with the twice a day. And then our call to action might be, this is the best book that I have ever read. Let me know if you read it and if you agree or disagree. Right? So I gave a little bit of information. I said my opinion. And then I asked you, do you agree that How to Win Friends and Influence People was the most influential book of your life? Or let me know what you think the most influential book of your life was, right? Whatever aligns with one of your pillars. But that is a call to action, but it has nothing directly to do with my business, though it kind of does, right? Does that make sense, Eva? Okay, perfect. I do agree, Karen. And you know what? I think I need to read it again because what I found is if somebody gives you a book with this title, that's a clue. So just about 2 weeks ago, I had somebody hand me this book and I thought, oh, I guess that means I need to read it again. He's a lovely gentleman. But anyway, okay. So I think we're done today unless anybody has any other questions. Okay, perfect. So then your task for the day is to go rock it. Go rock this every day for the next week. Gather your data. Gather it so that we can go highlight you on Wednesday so that you can go tell your teams, oh my goodness, this is working for me. It's going to work for you so that we can go bless all of Partner Co Nation. And so what this is going to look like, I have a 6 p.m. the same training, right? I'm going to try to do this again today at 6 for anybody that wasn't able to get on this morning. So if you've got somebody that couldn't make it, we can get them the recording or they can jump on at 6. So we're going to do that this afternoon or this evening. Then next week.
Andrea, is that Central Time?
Yes. I forgot where I was, but yes, it is Central Time. And then next week we're going to go live Wednesday night and then we're going to do a week of these. And then after that, we might move into an IPA. We're just going to kind of see how it goes. But some of you might be tapped in to help us with the training. So go learn this, love it, fall in love with it, benefit from it so that you can bring that information back to your team. So thank you guys so much for being here today. I'm so excited for this. I can't wait for us all to just blow up the entire, this is going to be so much fun. We're going to bless a lot of lives and I just appreciate each and every one of you. So
thank you, Andrea.
Thank you, Glenda. And yes, Trudy, it will be during Wednesday Wisdom. We're going to call it something else, whatever, but we're doing it on the same time, the same Zoom channel in case we get some stragglers that didn't know about this and they were just jumping on that. So I love you guys. Have a beautiful weekend.